Yo, it's Riker. What is up, you amazing, beautiful people? I hope you are doing well wherever you are at and whatever time of day or night you do end up watching this video, because in today's video we are going to be doing the SU-130pm versus the Skorpion G, and by the end I will tell you guys which tank I do like to play more and which tank I do believe is better. So if you do end up liking this video, smash that like button, leave a comment your favorite part of the video or anything in general down in the comment section below, subscribe and hit that bell notification so you're always notified when I upload a new video. And also, if you guys are looking for a more in-depth review of the stats and all that, go ahead and check out the reviews. They will both be coming out before this video is uploaded. So right away, the gun on the SU-130 I feel is a little bit weaker than the Skorpion G. Overall, they're pretty much identical and pretty much the same overall. But in the gameplay, when you are playing it, you could just feel the difference. The SU-130 does feel a little bit derpy because that's just Russian, and since it is Russian, the Russian gun has a mind of its own. Sometimes the shot will go ahead and land perfectly on the spot even if you're not fully zoomed in, and sometimes when you are fully zoomed in, the shot will just go flying into the sky. It's just the Russian guns. If you have ever used a Russian gun in this game, you know what I'm talking about. Like right there on that Tiger 1. I've taken like 2 or 3 shots on this Tiger 1 already. I'm aiming in and they just don't connect and they don't go through. I have no idea what the problem with that is. That's one of my really only complaints about this tank is the gun. It's you either hit some and you lose some, but overall I do prefer this gun over the Skorpion just a tad bit because of the derp factor. It is very derpy, very derpy, and you rarely get low rolls. With the Skorpion on the other hand, it's just all around, but with this tank, personally, I've tended to get more high rolls. That might just be RNG, but that's in my personal opinion. And this tank turret cannot go a full 360. It cannot rotate all the way. As you can see, there's that little thing poking up in the back, so you could only go around 70 degrees to the right and 70 degrees to the left. You cannot fully go around. That is a big disadvantage. If some tank decides to circle death you, that tank will have the upper hand if it is fast enough, and you'll just be taken out of the game. Where the Skorpion G, on the other hand, does have full 360 degree turret, which is another big bonus to the Skorpion G. And overall, these tanks are pretty much the same. Otherwise, besides that, they both have absolutely no armor, and you want to play them pretty much the same way, not up on the front line, mainly as a support tank. And as the battle goes on, and depending on the battle situation, you can be super aggressive. If you have paid attention to this battle at all, at first I was passive, just trying to get shots in, supporting my heavy tank, supporting my left flank that did push up. And once my left flank started pushing up a lot, I rushed in there and I was very aggressive and helped push them up. And since then, I've been super aggressive, like right there when I took out the E75. And now I have to back up and lure this MO1 out so that our team can light him up. And our MO1 is going to unload his entire clip into this one, and I'm going to be able to take him out for the win on this game. So that is mainly how I would play this tank. For both of these tanks, the Skorpion G and the SU-130, stay back, and then later in the game, be aggressive with your team or depending on the situation that you are in. Just mainly, you have to go with the flow of the battle. I can't specifically tell you exactly what to do because every battle is different. And speaking of battles for this one, we did get the first class 3,300 damage. If you saw there, very good credits. And we did not get any tanks destroyed, it looks like. But we are second. No, we got 4 tanks destroyed. My bad. I was looking at the first spot on the leaderboard. We are second on the leaderboard, but we did get the win. And now it is time for the Skorpion G battle. And as you can see right away, the SU-130 is a bit lower. It's a smaller target, and it's kind of harder to hit than the Skorpion G because the Skorpion G is much bigger than the SU-130, and it's just a bigger target for the enemy to hit. And if the enemy gets HE rounds into you, you're pretty much dead gonzo. But in this game, you will see me mainly being aggressive, actually. I'm a little bit of the support tank on the between the first and second line, so just right in the middle. I'm still up there with the action, but not quite. And I did get a nice HE shell into that T-49, and he's already deleted in the first 30 seconds of this game. You do not want to be that guy, and you do not want to be the RHM that is pushing up right now, because in about 15 seconds, he's going to go to, no, actually 2 seconds, he's going to go down to a one shot. You do not want to be that aggressive to the point where you are just out of the game and you have to be super passive for the rest of it. You want to play it how I am playing it right now instead of the RHM. More of behind your friendly tanks and using them as a hit point pool and getting shots on the enemy so you can support them and win the game instead of the RHM, rushing in there and just being brought down to a one shot or deleted right off the bat of the game and not really being able to do anything else. Pretty much you have to be super passive then, and you can't really take any more hits. And since I was paying attention to the minimap, I saw that the enemy team was pushing base A. I have no idea why they did not cap base A. That's kind of strange, but I figured most, if not all of them, would be flanking around us, and there's the FB right there. He decided not to flank us and just come right up, switch to HE, but I cannot fire since those umbrella things and other obstacles were in the way. If you don't know how HE works, if I fired that right there, it would have not hit the tank. It would have just splashed on those objects. But right there, like I predicted, most of the enemy team did flank around, and I did not have time to get into a proper position, so I had to go right here between them and just hope they did not rush or push me. But thankfully, and this is a pro and con. The Lova went AFK. It is a pro because now the enemy's just going to focus him and try to get as much damage as they can. And the con is that we lost a gun. We lost a player in the game, and we are now down one tank. But another pro is now the rest of the team can focus the enemy without really having to worry about getting shot in return. But now since the Lova is out of the game, the enemy is going to start trying to focus me since I'm the weakest, quote unquote weakest. I have no armor. That FE did try to focus me, but I did back up into cover before that IS-6 could do any more damage, and I took out the IS-2 right there real quick, and our team took out the FE. So now there's only one enemy tank, and we're all just going to rush in, not really care, just try to get as much damage and see if we can get the kill. And we do end up getting the final kill for the win. And let's see how we did perform that battle. We got the first class, 3,400 damage, very good credits, and 3 tanks destroyed. And overall, as you guys saw in the past 2 battles, these tanks are extremely good credit makers, so that is really going for them. If you guys want credit making tanks and you're more of a passive, kind of aggressive player, these tanks will fit you pretty well as long as you know how to play them effectively. They're overall very good. And as I said, and you guys just saw in the past 2 battles, they are extremely good at credit making. So overall, I do recommend both the tanks for that. And in the next 2 battles coming out, pardon, need to drink some water, I'm misspeaking. But in the next 2 battles coming up, this one and the next one, you will just see that they are very effective in credit making, like I've been saying for the past minute. And for this battle, I will show you guys how to very effectively be super aggressive in this tank, because in this battle, and I'm not quite sure if the next one, I think the next one I was pretty passive in the Skorpion G, but in this battle for the SU, I was very aggressive and right up on the front line. I basically did the entire push and did all the damage on this side basically, with some help from my team obviously, but for the most part I did all the damage over here, as you will see in the stats, just based off how the team did. But I decided to be super aggressive, push across. If I could push across more, I would have went across that little area there. You guys will see, I will push up to it later. I'll reference it when I get there. But I could not push up anymore because the T-28 was there. Backed up, got shot into him. And I'm backing up some more since the Tankenstein and Predator are there. And I got 2 lucky bounces. And pretty much in any tank, but these tanks specifically, you can get some very lucky bounces every now and then that will save your life. But I do start backing up more because that Tankenstein came out. I'm not sure if he's running that huge derp gun or not, but I do not want to get hit by that if he is. And if he uses HE, I'll pretty much half my hit points are gone. But I do start pushing up, seeing if I could get some more shots on the team. I know I am taking a risk here since there are 4 enemy tanks, if not 5 or 6 over here, just waiting to get shots into me. And look, and this is the spot I was talking about earlier that I said I would reference right here. If you guys are in a quick enough tank and you're able to get here fast enough, these can be very effective spots right here at these buildings where I'm at. You could either go here or go up to Bushka's office, do whatever you want. Or if you spawn in the other side, you could go over to across this little gap area over by the other hills, and the house is there. Very effective spots if the enemy team is pushing this hill at base, what is this, C? Yeah, base C. If they're pushing up that hill on this base C, you will be able to get shots on it and support your team very effectively, as I will demonstrate in this battle right here. This Ho-Ri is gone. He's just deleted, and I did get a couple other shots in. And this is, you could either poke out there or go over to that little boulder area between the two buildings. There's the tank, it's dying. I got a very lucky bounce there. I honestly have no idea how that bounced, since this tank is so paper thin. He might have hit my gun mantling, I'm not entirely sure. But I do poke out, my bad, and take him out of the game. And I decided to back up and reposition. Instead of just driving out of there or poking out and going all the way around, I push over to here where that little mound is and the building, poke out, get a nice shot into that ISU, since he's one of the bigger threats on the team, and he's really the only guy I could get shots in right now. And I do want to be careful, but as I say that, I just rush out and get shot in return. I did not mean to pull out that far, and instead of going full on and going across, I decided to back up, and he got a shot into me. Thankfully, it wasn't HE, because I'd probably be a one-shot by now, and that T-28 would have taken me out of the game. But I reposition, and I take a shot into that T-28. I asked the team for help, since he is a one-shot, and we could take him out of the game pretty easily. For a while there, I thought nobody was going to act on it, but the SU did manage to take him out of the game. And I'm taking a gamble here, because I'm pretty sure the ISU is still looking at this spot here. But I decide to activate the speed boost and go across as fast as possible before he could get a shot into me. And I figured that my team could handle both of them, because they are both one-shots. That Predator and the ISU, they should just be able to clear those tanks pretty fast. My biggest concern was this, I'm just going to call it the Shark, I'm not going to say the T-90 whatever. The Shark over here, my biggest concern. Wanted to help out RFV really bad and take him out of the game, get as much damage in as possible. I did pull up, get a shot into him, but he did get a shot in return, and I had to back up into this little river area, because if I did not, he would have taken me out of the game. And at the time, I did not know the exact reload of the tank, as I have not played it yet or really come up against it at the time of recording this video. But I did back up. I was expecting him to rush me, and I was gonna at least try to get one more shot in and some ram damage, but I did not have to, as he did not push up. And you guys saw there, the Predator was pushing up, so I loaded HE, I stopped, and I aimed in. I was waiting for him to push up, but luckily our team did take him out before I could take him out of the game myself. So now I'm pushing up. I'm keeping an eye on what my team was doing over on that right-hand side, making sure they had everything under control and they took out that enemy tank. Now all that's left is this Shark. And I want to give a shout out to this FB right here. He might have not done like all the damage in the world, but he's doing a very good job of keeping the Shark spotted and keeping him busy away from the rest of the team. And I don't know if I said this, but earlier I did try to take a shot from behind him, but it just hit the ground in front of him. Right here, I'm rushing around. I have one more AP shell. If I get a high roll, I will be able to take him out of the game. I rush up, and I take a shot, and it missed. It missed at point blank. I could not possibly miss that shot, but somehow it misses. That's what I mean by the Russian gun has a mind of its own. I was right there, point blank. No way I could have possibly missed, but it went flying. But our SU does manage to take him out for the win, and I honestly do believe, if I was able to take him out and get the kill and that extra damage, it would have been a mastery. But we do get the first class, 4,421 damage, and extremely good credits, 151 credits, and 2 tanks destroyed. Overall, very good battle, very good credit maker. And now we are on the final Skorpion G replay. And this is going to be a mastery replay, so I will do a separate video of it just highlighting the battle itself, and obviously I'm going to use it for the Skorpion G review that will be coming out before this video, along with the SU-130 review. But I'm just going to use it for the SU-130 versus the Skorpion G, since it's a good gameplay and I already have a crap ton of content already recorded, so I can't really go out, try to get another mastery and record it, as it will just take up too much space and I will not be able to produce all the other videos that I have pre-recorded. Honestly, I have enough to make around 30, maybe even 40 videos. But I did push up over to that bush so I could spot some enemy tanks if they were trying to rush B. That's what I would do on this map if I wasn't quite sure where to go. If I was a heavy tank, I'd rush B, try to cap that base out before the enemy so we could get a lead on points. But nobody rushed there, so I decided to reposition over to base C since our entire team's going over there. And I decided to be more passive, just shooting the tanks that try to push across and supporting my team. My first target is that SU-130. The first shot did not connect. Hopefully the second shot will. Aiming in, cannot take a clear shot, so I'm just waiting. I noticed that the enemy is capping out base B. I keep that noted so I could be cautious of the flank whenever they cap it out. And I'm telling my team to attack because I realize that they are capping out base A and they will be pushing over to flank us very soon. And we did cap out base C, and our team takes out that ISU. I did get a nice shot into him. And I noticed Tiger 2 pushing up on our left flank, so I push out, get a shot into him. And I am spotted. I look back just to see if any other medium tanks are spotted that are trying to flank around, like I said. Being very careful of our flank. And I push up and finish off that Tiger 2. I am spotted again, so I try to back up into cover, making sure I don't get hit from anywhere. And making sure that I'm reloaded before I move. I do start pushing up. My first thought process was trying to rush that BK and trying to finish him off to just get him out of there before my team could. Just a little bit greedy, trying to get that extra XP. But then I decided against it. Once I spotted the standard B T-34, I decided to back up and use this, I guess you would call it a pillar or column or something like that. Use that as cover for a little bit, take a shot off, it missed, so I decided to push up, wait for the reload, and push into base B. And this spot is actually very effective for the enemy team if they are over at base A and you guys are all over here at base B and C, because you could use these little roads or little hills that go up. You guys know what I'm talking about. I'm looking at one right now where my gun's pointed, and that one right next to me to the left. You pardon, you guys could use this position to your advantage. If you have very good gun depression, you could just poke up and get a shot into the enemy team like I just did on that enemy tank. And now I'm going to focus this Centurion 7-1 because he's just sitting out in the open. It's pretty much free damage, and I wanted to get that quick shot off. And obviously I'm going to see if I can get more shots off on him. 1, to whittle down his HP, and 2, to get that free damage in. And I do end up taking my first damage in return of the game since I was being a little greedy. But I noticed that standard B push up into that position. Wasn't quite sure if he was going to be able to get shots on me, so I was very careful of pushing up, seeing if he seeing if his gun could see me. And then I did push up and take out the Centurion 7-1 since he was being super aggressive and he was a one-shot, so I took him out of the game. And our team did handle the standard B and the T-34, taking them out of the game. I get a very nice HE shell into the RHM, but before I could even reload and take him another shot into him or take him out of the game, the Progetto 46 does take him out. However, we do get the mastery, 3,700 damage. Really good credits, as you see on the screen, and 2 tanks destroyed. But overall, which tank do I believe is better? The Skorpion G, I will have to say. I think that is the more effective tank since it has the 360. You could actually turn your turret all the way around in a circle. Yes, there's the disadvantage of the gun depression and it being a bigger target, but overall, that doesn't really make a difference if you know how to play this tank. That 360-degree turret is a big bummer, but I do enjoy playing the SU-130 a lot more. That is my go-to tank. Like I said, the SU-130 is pretty much the Russian Skorpion G. They're pretty much the same tank, just a few different things. And the reason why I do pick the SU-130 over the Skorpion G a little bit more is that one more degree of gun depression the tank has. The Skorpion G has 6, the SU has 7, and you might not think it's that big of a difference, but in the gameplay, you can feel the difference, and it's a pretty big one in my opinion. I love tanks with gun depression. I love using gun depression. Very good. And I know it doesn't have the full turret return, but it is a smaller target, and they're roughly the same speed, but just overall playing the SU-130 just feels a lot better, and it feels more fun to play, if that makes any sense. So I hope this video ended up helping you guys decide on which tank you would like to get, or if you guys want to get both tanks, whichever one you want to get first, all that, if you think these tanks are worth it or not. And if you guys want a more in-depth review, go ahead and check out the reviews where I do go over the stats, how to play the tank, and if I do think the tank is worth it overall. So if you guys have liked the video, smash that like button, leave a comment your favorite part of the video or anything in general down in the comment section below. Subscribe and hit that bell notification so you're always notified when you upload. pardon, when you upload a new video, when I upload a new video. And with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.
How does it feel to